Getting your students to follow instructions is easy, right? You tell them what to do, you give them some examples, they start speaking in English, and it all comes together nicely. Except when it doesn't. Let's find out why instructions go wrong and how we can get better at delivering them in the classroom. Hi, I'm Damien Herlihy, one of Pavilion ELT's vloggers, and in 2021 we're talking professional development. And in this episode I'm turning my eye to instructions. Something you do in every lesson, probably multiple times, but you haven't really focused on possibly since your teaching qualifications. Being the director of studies at my own school, I've had the opportunity to watch lots of teachers in the classroom. And a persistent issue that came up in all these observations was the delivery of instructions. After instructions were given by teachers, students would often look confused or puzzled and then ask the person next to them in their first language what were they supposed to be doing in English. There were many reasons why this was happening. Instructions could be too long, too complex, or delivered too fast. And in one extreme, I saw a teacher spend 15 minutes on giving instructions unsuccessfully to a group of students for an activity that took only 5 minutes. If you only see students for 2 hours a week, then you can't afford to lose 15 minutes a lesson on poorly delivered instructions. This eats into valuable practice time in English. Therefore, developing a PD series on instructions was a no-brainer for me. It fell definitely into the top 20% based on Pareto's principles. Not sure what Pareto's principle is? Then check out the link above for an explanation. The first step in designing the PD was to decide what elements make up good instructions. So I turned to Scott Thornbury's A to Z of ELT. And he stated the following elements are often present in good instructions. Getting students' attention. I like to use these sticks, or you could just clap your hands. They're a great way to signify to the students the end of the activity or the start of a new activity. Summary of the task and purpose. What the task is about and the goal of it. For example, today we're going to play a game that'll help you hear the difference between ooh and rrr. Organisation. Will it be done individually, in pairs, or groups? Task procedure. The steps in doing a task. Here you need lots of good sequencing language mixed with gestures. Think airline steward. Materials, or more importantly, handing those materials out at the right time. So many instructions can bomb on this point because as soon as you give out the materials, the student's focus is gone. So once you give it out, you can't get them back. Please, I have some more things to tell you. Please look at me, not the paper. Provide a model. Not that type of model, but rather an example for students to follow. This could be a written example, a video, or you doing the activity with a student before the others begin. Concept questions. Some questions to check understanding. For example, who will be running outside? What do you need to write down at the end of the task? Strategy or tip. This is to help the students complete the task effectively. For example, if they were preparing for a 1-minute presentation, you could remind them to use an online dictionary for vocabulary support. Timing. How long to complete the task? Cue to start task. Enough said. In the last episode, I talked about the concept of practice perfect. So bearing that in mind, I wanted these series of sessions to be as hands-on as possible. I decided to divide the PD into 3 stages with the level of difficulty increasing at each stage. I went through the rationale of focusing on instructions and showed them what kind of elements make up good instructions, like I did with you before. Also, in these first sessions, teachers needed to deliver instructions for an activity that they were going to use in class that week. They delivered these instructions in front of myself and some other teachers, and we used a checklist of elements of good instructions to give feedback. The aim was to take the first steps in automatising an instruction routine across their classes. This stage would usually go over 2 sessions. In the second stage, I increased the difficulty. So instead of bringing an activity, teachers were given an activity and had to prepare instructions under time pressure. Once again, they were giving feedback via the instructions checklist, and usually this stage could go over 1 or 2 sessions depending on how quick the teachers were in getting their instructions together. The final stage was videoing an example of the teachers giving instructions during a live lesson. We then watched that segment of the video and once again gave feedback. Hopefully by this stage, teachers have internalised an instruction routine that they can apply on the spot, anytime, anywhere in the classroom. How about you? You could adapt this to your own teaching context by buddying up with a co-teacher. You could decide on a good instruction routine based on the ideas at the start of this video, and then practice, either outside of the classroom with another teacher giving you feedback, or even better, a video of yourself giving instructions. If you can't get another teacher to watch it with you, then sometimes the best sign of successful instructions is how the students react. Last tip, have your instruction routine front and center, like as the screensaver on your laptop or a post-it note on the desk. The human brain needs constant reminders or it forgets. Here, let me help you out. Before you go, think about how you deliver instructions in the classroom. And why not in the comments, write down your instruction routine. Also remember to subscribe, like and share and all that other stuff to keep up to date with the latest from Pavilion ELT. Thanks for watching and happy instruction giving. Make sure you continue on this journey with me in the next video on professional development. See you next time.